Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're gonna be taking you over how to count your calories and give you tips to help you reach your goals, whether that may be to cut weight, to maintain weight, or even to gain weight.
Alrighty, we are going to start with maintenance calories and how to find your maintenance calories and macros. So, as you can see on the screen, my current goal is to maintain. My current body weight is 220, so we're going to take that as our base number and we're going to times it by 14, and that's going to give me my maintenance calories, which is 3,080. So, now we're going to set my protein intake. So we're going to do 1 gram per body weight. So we're going to do 220 times 1.0, and that's going to give us 220 grams of protein. Next, we are going to find my fat intake. And to do that, we're going to do my body weight, 220 times 0.30, to give us 66 grams of fat. And lastly, we are going to find my carb intake. And to do that, we are going to take my maintenance calories, which is 3,080, and then we're basically going to minus the fat and protein that we have already allotted. So we're going to do 220 times 4, because there are 4 calories per gram for protein, and then we're going to minus 66 times 9, because there are 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. And so our number is that we get from that is 1,606, and that is how many calories I have left over. And then we're just going to divide that by 4, because there are 4 calories per gram of carb, rather, and we get 401 carbs. So my macros for maintaining are 220 protein, 66 fat, and 401 carb. And many people ask me how I stay pretty lean year round, and it is actually, I eat around maintenance year round. I don't really bulk or cut. And just doing that, you're able to kind of recomp while, actually losing fat and gaining muscle and gaining strength at the same time. And that is how I kind of can gain and lose year round. Alrighty, so now that we have the knowledge to find our maintenance calories, it makes it a lot easier to find our cutting and gaining macros. And next we are going to go over cutting calories and macros. So as you can see, we have Wade. His goal is currently to lose fat. So we're first going to find our maintenance calories again. So Wade is 198 pounds, and we're going to times that by 14 to find his maintenance, which is 2,772. And since his goal is to lose fat, we are going to subtract 500 from that number. And the general rule of thumb is between 3 and 500. And the more aggressive you are, the less time you end up having to cut. So we're going to go more on the aggressive side. So he's going to subtract 500, and we are going to get 2,272 calories. So now that we have that, that is his caloric intake daily in order to be in a deficit for the week. So next we're going to find his protein intake. Not only while we're maintaining, but especially when we're cutting, protein intake is key. So we definitely want to have at least 1 gram per body weight. So we're going to do 198.1.0 to get 198 grams of protein. Next, we're again going to find our fat intake, 198 times 0.30. We're going to get 59 grams of fat. And lastly, we're going to find his carb intake. So we're going to take his adjusted caloric intake, which is 2,272, and then we're going to minus it by, again, 198 times 4, because there are 4 calories per gram of protein, and then we're again going to minus for his fat intake, which is 59 times 9, and that number gives us 949, and then that is the remaining calories we have from the other two allotted protein and fat intake, and we're going to divide that by 4 and get 237 grams of carbs. So his cutting macros, in order to be in a deficit for the week, would be 198 protein, 59 grams of fat, and 237 grams of carbs. And that 0.30 is the minimum for fat intake, because fat intake is very essential for testosterone and just general hormone production, and anything lower you risk loss of libido, loss of recovery. Lastly, we are going to find our gaining calories and macros, and the goal here is to gain muscle. So here we have Max. He weighs 180 pounds, and we're again going to find his maintenance calories. So we're going to times that by 14, and that gives us 2,520, and that is his maintenance calories. And since his goal is to gain muscle, we're going to add 500 to that number. So he will be in a caloric surplus for the week, and we get 3,020. So now we're going to set his protein intake. We're going to take his body weight times 1.0, and we're going to get 180 grams of protein. Next, we're going to find his fat intake. We're going to do 180 times 0.30 to get 54 grams. And then lastly, again, for our carb intake, we're going to take his total adjusted calories for caloric surplus, which is 3,020. And then we're going to minus 180 grams of protein times 4. And then we're going to minus 54 times 9 for fat. And that's going to give us our remaining calories we have for carbs, which is 1,814. And then we're going to divide that number by 4, and that gives us 454 grams of carbs. So his total gaining macros daily should be 180 grams of protein, 54 grams of fat, and 454 carbs.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully these tips help you guys reach your goals.
Keep in mind, everybody's unique, and if you need to subtract a few hundred more calories to lose weight, or vice versa to gain, then that's totally okay. It's just personal preference.
So guys, if you would like to see a female powerlifter take us two bums through a workout, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.